What's up guys, welcome back to District Trending. In this video we are going to be going over the real meaning behind Eminem's new music video Venom. And if you are a fan of Eminem's music, make sure to leave a like on this video, as I am pretty curious to see how many of you guys are Eminem fans. And also, if you do want to join our iPhone 10 giveaway, all you need to do is leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Getting right into it, at the very start of the music video, we have an album CD that was broken, which was a revival CD that Eminem previously did release. If you don't know, Eminem did release an album called Revival, which got a lot of negative reviews from people, and basically it's broken at the very start of this, which means that Eminem is pretty much straying away from that style of rapping and going back to the way he was with Slim Shady and all this stuff that made him famous in the first place. Lots of people are also really excited about this as well. As you already know, Eminem was very famous for this very savage style of rapping, which people really grew to love in all of his Slim Shady EPs and all of that stuff. And eventually, he kind of lost it in the middle there, with the Revival album. People really didn't like it. And on top of that, now Eminem is back on top, because once MGK really dissed him, it really angered him to the point where he was like, you know what, I gotta throw all this other stuff aside. And then he came back, and now he is as savage as ever. The man that originally picked up the broken Revival CD album was eventually greeted with a black CD rather than just a normal CD, and then quickly put it in his backpack and then ran into the bus, scared that he was going to miss it in the first place. Eventually from there, the CD ended up getting activated or turned on or whatever happened to it. It basically became literally Venom and pretty much possessed the dude into becoming Eminem in a way where he was rapping the same lyrics that Eminem was saying on the song. And I really shouldn't have to mention this, but of course this song is for the new movie that is coming out for Venom. The plot of Venom itself is a journalist is trying to take down a person named Carlton Drake, the notorious and brilliant founder of the Life Foundation. And while investigating one of Drake's experiments, Eddie's body merges with a alien Venom, leaving him with super strength and power, twisted and dark and fueled by rage. The budget for the movie was $100 million US, and on Rotten Tomatoes it currently has a 30%, and on IMDb has a 7.1 out of 10. So obviously some people were getting some mixed reviews about the movie itself. Personally, when I watched it, I thought it was all right, but again, it's not anything close to what Infinity Wars is or any other Marvel movie, in my opinion. Let me know if you have already watched the Venom movie, what you think about it down below. Do you think it deserves a 30% or a 7.1 on those respective sites? Let me know down below. And obviously, if you haven't watched that movie, you probably won't get the entirety of this movie plot. But again, it is a very good movie. If you haven't seen it already, go check it out. It's super cool. But on top of that, what ended up happening to the person that was possessed, he ended up pretty much, quote, infecting the bus driver in a sorts, where eventually he bumped into the bus driver, he touched him, and then the Venom or Eminem himself, instead of possessing the first dude, ended up possessing the bus driver instead. And whenever people are infected by the Venom, they are pretty much acting crazy, and they do all kinds of crazy stuff, which a normal person wouldn't do. I mean, a little kid knocks over a lamp. Pretty much people are acting all crazy and scaring a bunch of other civilians as well. This is probably an ode to Eminem when he was on the come up. He was very different than all the other rappers that were currently on the top, and he kind of weirded them out to the point where he became his own unique thing, and then eventually immortalizing himself as becoming one of the greats of rap. And of course, with the release of Venom and of course Kamikaze, the album, Eminem is going back to his old, very root ways of rapping, which people seem to love and what gave him the recognition and the legacy that he has in the first place. So of course, people are going to enjoy this a lot more than the style of rap that he used in Revival. You might be wondering to yourself, why would Eminem be chosen out of all the different people that could have been chosen for the role of, singing the mascot song for the Venom movie? They decided to go with Eminem because probably he was going back to his old ways of rapping, which were very savage in a sense, and that is basically the edginess that they want to put in with the Venom. They want to target to that sort of audience. They want to make everything seem very edgy in that, and that's why they picked him for the song. This definitely works from a marketing standpoint as well, because Eminem is a very trending person at the moment with all of his beef that he had with MGK, and of course Eminem releasing his new album Kamikaze, which got a lot of critical praise. And in the lyrics as well, it's talking a lot about how Venom pretty much gets inside the body, and when it latches onto your mitochondria, because it's latched onto, that's pretty much the very start of when the Venom references happen, because of course the mitochondria is the organelle in the cell that converts food sugars into chemical energy, and is often called, of course, the meme, the powerhouse of the cell. And parasites and viruses usually target the mitochondria as well when they are invading a cell, because of course that will give you all the power, and really all you need from that is to shut down the power, and then the cell just doesn't work anymore. And in the first verse, Eminem goes knock knock, and the reason he says that is because Eminem believes that his music is a form of mind control, the same way that Venom is able to bond to humans and control them. He admits that at the end of the song as well. Eminem continues by saying, "Malevolent as I've ever been, head spinning, this medicine screaming, let us in, like salad bowl, Edgar Allan Poe." And of course, Edgar Allan Poe was a 19th century poet, best known for writing mystery and horror, and let us in is a homophone for lettuce and of course salad bone. And Edgar Allan Poe's salad, which includes mixed greens, apples, pears, walnuts, and blue cheese crumbs, and of course grilled chicken, which of course is very clever of Eminem to use that as well. And he uses the made up word malevolent, which is possibly a convolution of benevolent and malevolent, and he describes a person who is about to change from good to bad. And of course, the reason why he talks about good to bad so much is because the main character in the Venom movie, Brock, of course, gets infected and turns from a good guy into a bad guy very quickly, depending on his emotions. Later on in the song, Eminem goes, "How can I be down? Me and Bizarre in Florida, Proof's room, slept on the floor of the motel," and then Dr. Dre said, "Heck yeah." This lyric is specifically important because Eminem is painting a picture of how he got involved with hip-hop, which at the time was predominantly African American during the 90s. He also mentions his friend and fellow D12 member Bizarre, as well as his late childhood friend and his major inspiration Proof, and of course Dr. Dre's trademark "Heck yeah" can also be heard. And in the chorus, Eminem goes and pretty much raps about Venom, which is pretty much the extraterrestrial symbiote that can enter any host, use telepathic abilities, and communicate with its host, and grants superhuman strength. The symbiote also has a mind of its own. It can take full control of its host at any point. Eminem's choppy and unpredictable flow may allude to the strange and erratic movement, expansion of shapeshifting of the symbiote, and it's raw and dependent from its amphimorphius, which translates to its host when it enters. And again, on top of that, people really do seem to like the new Eminem rap that he has when he was new, and of course when he was old. Nobody likes the stuff in the middle with the revival stuff, unfortunately, but of course people really do like this unpredictable, sort of very lyrical based rap. The second verse, Eminem goes, "Venomous, the thoughts spun like a web, you thought you caught him." This is actually a reference to a 2002 track, "Till I Collapse," from his fourth studio album from the Eminem Show called, and the exact quote is, "Women are caught in web, spin 'em and hook 'em like venom." Caught in a web relates to Spider-Man and of course Venom's second host, which uses the web to fight crime and navigate the city. Later on in the song, Eminem again goes, "My Mustang and Jeep Wrangler grill with the front smash as much as my rear fender assassin slim can be a combination of actual Kamikaze and Gandhi. Translation, I will probably us both," and then end back up in India. This line is actually quite interesting because, of course, if you know Gandhi, he was an Indian activist and he led the Indian independence movement against British rule, and he employed nonviolent civil disobedience, and this is especially known for his hunger strikes. Eminem cleverly describes his alter ego Slim Shady as the combination of someone who would sacrifice himself for the sake of destroying his enemies, like kamikaze pilots, and someone who was willing for his beliefs, and the goal in general for him is for him to stop the advance of mumble rappers. Also notice that backing Intia as Gandhi did can also be heard as backing into ya, which describes the entire line about him reversing his car, which you can hear with the sound of a crash. Eminem later on goes again to say, "Ain't no telling when this chokehold on this game will end. I'm loco, became a symbiote, so my fangs are in your throat, and you're snake bitten with my venom." This is of course Eminem talking more about the symbiote in general, which is basically, again, pretty much Venom itself. So in Marvel lore, symbiotes, like the Venom, form bonds with their hosts, and once attached, they have the ability to telepathically communicate and control their actions and grant superhuman strength. And here Eminem expresses his belief that his music has heavy influence on the listeners and enables him to control his fans, just like Venom invades and controls his hosts. And towards the very end of the song, Eminem goes, "So escaping me is impossible. I latch onto you like a parasite and I probably ruined your parents' life and your childhood too, because if I'm that music y'all grew up on, I'm responsible for you fools. I am the super villain dad and mom losing their marbles." Eminem sees himself as a super villain who's had a negative effect on young people's minds since he rose to fame in 1999. And Eminem has also discussed how his parents believe that music corrupts their children. For instance, in 2003, Sing for the Moment, Eminem talks on his influence on the youth by saying, "These ideas are nightmares to white parents whose worst fear is a child with dyed hair and who likes earrings." Anyways, I am going to end off the video here, but if you guys did enjoy at any point, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel with notifications on so you never miss an upload. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below of your general thoughts of the song and, of course, the movie Venom in general. Like, did you think it was good? Did you think it deserved 7 point something ratings or whatever it got? I know it got mediocre reviews. Do you think it was a letdown? Let me know down below. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.